center your minds and prepare yourselves for another Acts of Geekery enema.
Oh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Acts of Geekery Podcast, episode 57. I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek, here to bring you all the geeky things in the world of geekdom. I am actually on the ball today.
Hopefully, you're okay after that Acts of Geekery enema.
Well, you know what? It really woke me up.
It flushed us out.
It was a coffee enema. So, you know, I'm like full of caffeine.
Yeah, you were hyper. You were all over the place.
I'm over here. I'm over there. I'm over at the news.
But I suppose it's not the strangest thing I've seen on a game show, like when Adam West was on Jeopardy!
All right, players, the answer once again is it was the first spacecraft to land on the surface of Mars. Adam, what was your response? Kebert Zella.
Only saying his name backwards can send him back to the fifth dimension where he belongs.
I am so glad that Adam West is protecting us.
Yes, from dangerous threats.
Fifth-dimensional beings. And sending them back to where they belong.
As everybody knows, always take the form of game show hosts.
Yes, yes. Or America's Funniest Home Video hosts.
Oh, my gosh.
Why do you think Bob Saget's no longer there? He went back to his home dimension.
To gas Bob.
I don't know how to gas Bob. Okay.
Yeah.
Kebert Zella.
Well, it's time for the news, ladies and gentlemen.
That is true.
It is time. There's a lot of news today.
Yeah. And we are a day late. We are sorry about that.
Yeah. A day late, a buck short. We're writing the report.
No.
No?
No.
No?
Nah.
Okay. That's all I can say before we get sued. So,
all right.
Big news. We start out with birthdays as usual. But before we're actually going to talk about something else happy. Usually we would talk about a death before birthdays, but we have to congratulate.
Well, some might consider this a death, depending on their outlook on life.
True, actually, the old ball and chain.
Yep.
We are congratulating Dave Bautista today,
our Drax the Destroyer.
Who just got married to a wonderful woman named Sarah Jade.
Well, we don't know if she's wonderful.
Well, yeah, who knows?
We're assuming that she's wonderful for him.
So
the interesting thing about this story is she's actually a competitive pole dancer.
So, you know,
I honestly,
awesome.
I mean, it makes sense.
It
makes sense now that they exist.
Yeah.
But that's one of those professions that I would have been like, oh.
So does she have like sponsors?
Okay.
That like buy ad space?
Ultraglide. Sponsored by Ultraglide.
Ultraglide. Yeah, and you know, for everybody thinking, oh, that's dirty, she's a stripper. No, actually, pole dancing is very empowering.
Yeah, you can pole dance with all their clothes on.
Exactly.
Maybe she's a parka pole dancer. We don't know.
I've seen Felicia Day pole dance.
I have not. I heard she's very clumsy.
Yes,
but she's
well, that's just Felicia Day.
She's such a nerd, though. But it's a cute kind of clumsy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now we can get into birthdays.
Yeah.
Starting off with Manu Bennett, two or three or four-time alumni of Salt Lake Comic-Con and FanX.
He's Deathstroke in Arrow. He also plays the White Orc in the Hobbit movies.
Yep, he is 46.
Who else does he play? Oh, he plays Crixus in what's it called? Spartans, where they fight each other. Blood and Sand. Spartacus. Yeah.
Boner fight.
Yeah.
As some people like to call it.
Yeah.
But he's 46 years old.
Yes.
Yeah. And his career's been taking off lately, which is funny because Hugh Jackman's birthday was also the past couple weeks, and he's 47 and way higher in his career.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he does like Old Man Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
I'd be okay him passing the torch.
Yeah.
You know, to the next, and then maybe the next Wolverine can be like his son, Daken, or something like
or
that. Yeah.
X-23. Let's have
we've
female
got
Wolverine.
Margot Kidder.
Yeah, 67.
I don't know who that is.
It's Lois Lane in the old Superman movies.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Only 67. Surprisingly.
Yeah. That means she must have been like in her 20s when she was in those movies.
I think people think she's a lot older because her co-star is already dead, but that was not due to age.
Yeah. Well, he was in his 40s when he died, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite.
You know who else is not that old but looks super old, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He turned 55.
Yep.
And if he ever takes his sunglasses off,
yeah, he's got weird eyes. He's
sunken.
my favorite cameo in Kung Fu Panda 2.
As what?
He's Master Croc. He's the crocodile.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
And when I found that out, I was
so.
like, that's great. That's
Nice.
perfect. It has been a little bit. That's a good movie.
Our happy birthday to the Scream Queen.
Mm-hmm. Well, Sci-Fi Queen.
Sci-Fi Queen, yeah.
Sigourney Weaver. Ripley. Sigourney Weaver is 66.
She does have a good scream, though.
She does have a good scream. Yeah. She's also just really awesome to be in other like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Like when she spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen Paul yet. One of the greatest movies of all time. Actually, is a pretty good movie.
It is a very
but
good
she's
movie.
the director of like Area 51.
Yes.
And that's revealed towards the end and you're just like, that's perfect.
Yeah, she's also she's in Avatar. She's one of the scientists in Avatar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she's been in a couple others as well.
R.L. Stein.
For all you Goosebumps nerds out there.
Yeah, we didn't go see Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
For the same reason we didn't watch the pod.
My god, Goosebumps.
Goosebumps. For the same reason we didn't record the podcast yesterday. We had busy stuff going on. We had real life get in the way. We punched it in the face.
And it punched his back.
Yep. So we can't really tell you.
Please, somebody call help.
But R.L. Stein is 72 years old. And
I'm actually surprised. Okay, and this sounds bad. I'm surprised he's still alive. Not because he's old or anything like that, but for some reason I thought he was dead. Because authors always seem to die way early.
They do seem to die pretty early.
Is it because they don't get enough sleep or something?
Yeah,
That's probably
they just
what it is.
stress out over. Because I think a lot of authors have anxiety issues.
Okay.
Because they just stress out over their books so much and everything.
Well, they just would rather stay at home and write books than go out and deal with people.
You know who's not dead, Scott?
Brandon Ruth.
Yeah, the Atom.
The Atom and Superman for one movie.
And he was in...
He's also in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World as
he's the vegan.
Yeah.
The level 5 vegan or whatever.
Level 7 or something like that. Yeah.
He is 36 years old.
Yeah, well, happy birthday.
Yeah, getting kind of up there.
The creator of one of Cory's favorite movies of all time.
Yep.
Pacific Rim. Guillermo del Toro.
51.
Which is also the older brother to Benicio del Toro.
if rumors are to be believed.
And finally, last but not least, well, I'm sure we missed some, so happy birthday to all those we didn't mention, but Jesse Eisenberg, our new Lex Luthor.
That brings us to our first story.
He's 32.
He's 32, but he's not Lex Luthor.
What?
It has just been revealed that Jesse Eisenberg's character in Batman vs. Superman is Lex Luthor's son, Alexander Luthor Jr.
Okay, so who plays Lex Luthor?
Lex Luthor is dead.
Possibly
from the attack.
Oh, interesting. Because Alexander Luthor, well, that's where you get Lex as Alex.
Exactly.
But Alexander Luthor's in like Crisis on Infinite Earths and things like that. He's actually
Earth 2 very powerful.
He's a pretty big character in the multiverse for DC. So that's really interesting. They're doing that.
Yeah. So that's your first news story for the day.
Okay.
Great way to segue in there.
All right.
So we have to admit something.
Yeah.
Tonight is Monday Night Football, which means that as we are recording this, maybe we are getting our new Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer.
Oh.
This was advertised like crazy yesterday.
I can tell you this, it's still not enough to make me watch football.
Yeah. So while we are recording...
it'll be out on YouTube
in
an hour.
So while we are recording, hopefully by the time we get to trailers and videos, it'll be out.
Yep.
But we might not have it yet. But what we do have is the Star Wars Force Awakened poster revealed. Scott, have you seen this?
I have not.
Okay.
No.
Well, let me pull it up here so that I'm not just
talking
about it.
So poster reveals are not really, they're generally not talked about.
No, not really. But this one is getting a lot of talk about it.
But there is something cool. Okay.
So, first of all, super cool, classic Star Wars.
Classic Star Wars.
You got your villains on there. You got your heroes. You don't have Luke, which is surprising.
Well, we don't know if Luke's in it.
Yeah, he is.
Do we know?
Mark Hamill is... he almost died.
I'm just saying. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen anything, so... Maybe he's a shadow character and he's not supposed to be till the next movie or something like that.
All right.
But it is the classic Star Wars. You've got different sized profiles of each of the characters, and the villains in the background, and all the different ones. There's lightsabers.
I would like to point out that John Boyega's character is not sweaty nor panting in the poster.
That's because he breathed in and before, and as you
exactly.
they took the picture.
Yep.
And then they cleaned it up in post.
And you get the cool stormtroopers down at the bottom. You get a look at a lot of the characters that are like new and old and everything.
The Millennium Falcon. You've got
Han Solo, Chewie, Leia's in there.
Yep.
But what's most interesting and what most people are freaking out about is up in the upper right corner right here. That is a planet killer weapon by the looks of it.
Yes, it is.
I just totally clicked something. There we go.
Wow.
So
yeah,
it almost looks like a new Death Star.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Which, this brings up a point that you were pointing out to me. Star Wars either takes from other sci-fi and uses it.
I am going to get so much crap for this.
I know.
Yeah.
They just repeat the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Because
we watched the opening cinematic for the Old Republic.
Yeah, the Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And there's a character in there that he's basically
like a cross between Han Solo and Jim Raynor.
Or Malcolm Reynolds. And that is and you look at it and that's all I can see. I don't even really see Han Solo.
Yeah. Now, I would like to point out
he's
that
more cowboy than
Star Wars did bring a lot of these archetypes.
Yes.
Like the devilish rogue who pilots a spaceship and he's a captain and everything. That's Han Solo.
But Star Trek also had a bunch of that stuff too. Just
but I mean,
he was in TV form.
So we can compare Star Wars Han Solo in the 1970s to like the 1980s. The one episode where Star Trek had that one devilish rogue guy who, when we were watching that episode, we went, "Oh, this is a Han Solo."
Yeah.
So it's kind of, they do develop the archetype.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that they're not just doing.
I'm going to get a lot of crap for that because
yes,
I'm not. If you don't know me, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I enjoy them. But,
I am actually a huge Star Wars fan.
But I can't sit and just watch them over and over and over again. And maybe if I got into like the EU,
I think
the extended universe and read the books, which apparently no longer
longer canon. It's it's alternate universe.
But I was going to say one thing about posters. They're not usually talked about much, but I love posters. I love movie posters. And if I had a larger theater room, I would have movie posters all over the wall of my favorite movies. And I would rotate them out, or I would have a digital display that would just rotate through them just slowly.
Like those picture frames that have the pictures on them.
Yeah, posters are pretty cool, but you never really see them. So it's kind of funny that
those picture frames that have the pictures on them.
Yeah.
I'm so smart. But yeah, no, movie posters, you don't really realize how important they are until you see something like a parody of it.
Yeah.
And you look at a parody of a movie poster and you go, "Oh, that's like that one. That's that's the Jaws poster, but with kaiju on it."
Yeah.
For the Pacific Rim one.
Yep.
And it's just, posters are really cool.
So, speaking of posters, we have a new princess.
Yes, but I had one more Star Wars story, actually, that I just found out.
All right.
So, apparently...
Breaking news.
Yeah. People are already starting to boycott Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Who cares?
First of all, cinema websites are breaking down with people trying to buy tickets for this already.
Okay.
Because tickets went on sale today.
Oh my gosh, we need to get them.
Yeah. A group known only as Racist Nerds have initiated the hashtag Boycott Star Wars 7, a global discussion about white genocide and other ridiculous racist ideas, and it's now heavily trending on Twitter. Apparently, they're not happy about John Boyega being having a significant part in the film.
So first of all, the fact that your group name is Racist Nerds,
it's like
you already know you're racist, which means you're already going to lose like 99% of your credibility.
That has to be a troll group.
It's got to be.
No group would ever call themselves racist.
Yeah, they're not. They're usually like American liberation for Aryans,
white
or something
supremacists.
Like that. Even then, that's the nickname that was given to them.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about more death to white men. We'll go back to Moana. Moana is the newest Disney princess coming out from their latest CG animated movie, because they moved pretty much over to CG now that they have a good department for it.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I still hope they do bring out a couple
classic
2D animation.
Yep.
Like if they ever, and I know this isn't Disney, but if the Iron Giant ever gets remade, it better have that same animation style. I don't want a CG Iron Giant.
That
really
would be right. No.
That would be too weird.
Yeah.
Too weird.
So this latest movie is a Southern Island tale, a Pacificer tale, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's all Hawaiian style. Moana is
Tongan or stuff like that.
And so that's what Moana is. She's kind of a Mocha the Rock look. And by the way, the guy standing next to her in this picture, and we'll post it on Facebook, is Dwayne The Rock Johnson's character.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and of course, he just looks completely like buff and just like tree trunk thick all over, you know?
I wonder if he can swim.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Now, have you, did you hear about, someone was talking to Jason Momoa, and they asked him, since you're playing Aquaman, are you a very good swimmer?
Geez, yeah.
And he looks at him and goes, dude, I'm from Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm Hawaiian. What do you think? And I was a lifeguard.
So what's the name of the movie that's coming out? Do we know?
It actually is called Moana.
Moana, okay.
Yep.
All right.
And it's a story about a woman or a girl who goes on a quest and meets up with a mysterious Pacific god, basically, which I believe is the character that The Rock is playing. And it's about her journey to find, I think it's about to find her people like a paradise or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I like that. I like Disney's animation style. I really do.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's almost better than Pixar.
Yeah, I can kind of agree.
So, I mean, I really hate to say that because Pixar does amazing work.
And they started it all, really, like, as far as 3D animation goes.
But, I mean, it's just like, so, Pixar's look is a little angular, if you know what I mean.
Sharp.
Yeah, there's sharp edges to it. Like, the faces and everything are kind of, they're still kind of...
For their human characters. For their non-human characters, it's a little different.
Yeah, exactly, except for the toys, because they're obviously sharp edges. Yeah. But all Disney is kind of like that smooth
Disney
feel to it and
it's
everything.
Softer. It's like even like Big Hero 6, everything was softer. Even like when they drew like a blade or something, it wasn't actually sharp. It was kind of
round,
a rounded edge and things like that. So,
yeah, and I think the only time that they did kind of hard edges was when they did Wreck-It Ralph, because they're supposed to be 8-bit characters.
Yes,
they're supposed to be rough around the edges. All right, let's talk about the Hateful Eight then.
Yes.
And you were yawning, and I think I'm going to be yawning during the Hateful Eight because we have 2 different releases coming out for it.
So, and this is kind of dumb news.
Yeah.
Because they say, "Oh, you need to make sure you're gonna get the non-theatrical release, the DVD release, because it's longer." So when you hear that, you hear, "Oh man, this director's cut's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes longer,"
which isn't always a good thing.
It's 6 minutes longer.
I'm not even sure if it's 6 minutes longer or if there's like the theatrical release and then there's the other release that has like a 6-minute intermission in it.
No, they said not including the intermission.
Oh, not
which is
including the
which is
intermission.
12 minutes on its own.
Okay.
So it's going to be 3 hours long.
Oh, jeez.
Give or take a few minutes.
That is so long. Like, it better be super entertaining the entire way through. Like,
I better hate all 8 of them.
I hate I hate 7.5. This isn't working for me. So I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but I think that The Dark Knight is way too long. I think The Dark Knight meanders a lot.
The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises?
The Dark Knight.
Okay, because The Dark Knight Rises was longer, and it's even...
Yeah, that's even more meandering, but I'm gonna get flack for just saying that the quote-unquote best Batman movie is...
There is some dull spots in it, yeah. I'll agree with that.
And it's just, it makes the movie feel a lot longer. And there's certain movies that make you just feel like this movie's going on forever. We're watching through the Harry Potter series right now.
Right.
We're starting straight from number 1 because we haven't seen it in a long time and everything, and we're just going through it and making fun of it. And those movies kind of feel long.
They can at times,
Yeah.
yes.
Which they don't like. Well, and the thing is, like back when I first saw the movies, I'm sure I had just finished reading the books. So at the time, I was like, well, they cut out so much; it's so short.
Well, we were watching The Frighteners the other day.
That's true.
And man, that was a long. And it was only 2 hours long, but it felt. I think it's the pacing of the movie. It has everything to do with how the movie is, not the actual length of time. Because I can watch Lord of the Rings, and sure, I know it's a long movie, but I'm so like enthralled and engrossed in the whole movie that it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But The Hobbit,
I think
The Hobbit was so long.
The Hobbit, the third one definitely.
Yeah.
I think the Frighteners is a prime example for us recently of a movie that suffered from the director's cut.
Yeah.
Like, I think that the pacing of the movie really suffered because they added all these extra scenes in between, and they were, they may have been like 30-second scenes because there was only like 13 minutes added to that movie.
Yeah.
But they were added in such places that it made the movie drag.
Right. And that's probably why they cut them in the first place.
Exactly. And there's certain ones that are just, like whenever you slap Peter Jackson's name on something, you have to have a director's cut for it, and doesn't always work. So...
Yeah, so let's talk more movie stuff.
Yes.
We've got some comic news coming up, but we'll do that after. We got a bunch of movie stories. Ant-Man sequel got announced.
What?
Yes, which was expected but unexpected at the same time.
Yeah.
I expected it to happen because it did decent.
I didn't expect it to happen at all, actually.
And
because this movie started this movie started the whole... Is Marvel going downhill thing with the talk of the creative council going
but
away?
It still made $500 million or something like that, so it did all right compared to its budget. And they announced a sequel, Ant-Man and Wasp, which means we get to see Paul Rudd as Ant-Man again, and we get to see Evangeline Lilly as Wasp.
Going to be awesome.
And if you stayed till the end, spoilers, there is the scene where old Ant-Man,
Hank Pym,
old Ant-Man. Shows the new Wasp costume he was working on.
Yeah, for his wife. Oh, spoilers.
Who's dead.
Yeah.
Or not dead. Or
microversed.
Microversed. Yeah. So that's cool. I don't think they... and they also added some more films for their Phase 3 schedule.
Yeah.
So... and I'm not sure what they are.
Yeah, they added 3 films after all of their current announced films.
Okay.
And... Unfortunately for Ant-Man, that means that a few movies are pushed back. Like Captain Marvel got pushed back and everything.
Yeah, probably like Inhumans and stuff as well.
Inhumans is actually up in the air at the moment. There's conflicting rumors going around that it's done. Like they're not going to do it at all.
Interesting.
But there's also rumors going around that Vin Diesel's fighting really hard to play Black Bolt.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Which everybody wants. So just do it, Marvel. You don't have to have somebody who... is actually good at talking to play that character.
I'd be okay with Vin Diesel playing every non-live action character and voicing them,
just doing it,
and then his one live action role is Black Bolt. So they could be Black Bolt, and then he can also be Black Bolt's dog, Lockjaw, and he can be Groot, and he can be all these other different characters. He could be the Silver Surfer.
Oh, well, except for that's Fox.
He can still be the Silver Surfer.
No, don't send him over there.
So we talked about Ant-Man and their budget just a little bit ago, about how they did all right.
Yeah.
They made about $500 million. Well, it looks like Pan, the movie that came out 2 weeks ago, I believe, which is the kind of like pre-Peter Pan storyline.
It's the Peter Pan prequel.
Peter Pan prequel. Peter Pan prequel picked a pipe and pickled peppers, and it could lose up to $150 million.
Oh.
We looked at the reviews, and it did not do very well, and neither of us wanted to spend money on something that could have probably bombed.
So we actually have a review, a Rotten Tomatoes threshold,
right? And this is some of you might be like, oh, they're not perfect. No, they're not, but they're a pretty good gauge on a movie.
So it starts out with our desire to see the movie. If we really want to see a Marvel movie, we will go see it, even if the ratings are terrible. Like Fantastic Four is a prime example. Didn't really we were kind of back and forth on it. We waited for
the Fant4stick.
Oh, sorry, Fant4stick. So we were waiting for the reviews, and they were bad. So it starts out at like a base 50% rating, and guess what Pan got?
And this is both critics and then users. We gauge them both. We get the average of both of them.
Exactly.
26% critic score and 51% user score. So it didn't even do well with users.
No.
So we didn't decide. We'll probably go Redbox it. Probably $1 Redbox it, or find a friend that's got it and watch it.
Exactly.
So, but
and find a friend that's got it and go, why do you have this? Can we borrow it?
What's funny? Yeah, exactly. What's funny is they're going to lose all this money.
Yeah.
And then there's Marvel on the other hand.
Yeah.
That basically backs up a dump truck full of dollar bills and dumps it out.
And they're Infinity War.
$1 billion. A rumor. Is it a rumor or is it confirmed?
I think it's confirmed.
$1 billion budget for Marvel's Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War.
Now that's both parts together.
That's still $500
million a piece. Unless, one of them goes a little heavier on the thing.
I would imagine it's going to make the record for the most expensive movies ever made.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's another movie that comes even close to like Age of Ultron.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing out there that has this bad or this big of a budget.
Like Titanic, Avatar, they all had $100 million, $80 million. Like
Superman had like $250 million or something like that.
Yeah,
which was super big for a budget. But $1 billion is pretty much unheard of for a budget for a movie.
That's insane. I'm wondering if they're just like, we can spend up to $1 billion. But, try to keep it as low as possible.
Yeah, keep it under $1 billion. That's all I got.
On me. So that's crazy. I'm hoping,
was a fake laugh.
And I know that just because you throw money at something doesn't mean it's going to be good, but I'm really hoping that it helps.
Yeah.
I really hope that it helps.
Because they don't have Joss with them. But they do have the guys who did Community and who did Winter Soldier.
Now, there's people that can make awesome movies on low budget, and usually that's WB's animated movies.
Yeah, they do great.
In fact, we do have a animated movie news.
So we talked about The Killing Joke before.
We have. It's the next, second to next. How many away? So we've got the Bat Family, the Bad Blood coming out.
Yeah.
That's coming out at the end of this year, I think.
Yes, and then I know we've got.
I don't know. I don't remember what the next one is, to be honest.
It's got to be at least 2 out for The Killing Joke.
Yeah, because they always do a Batman. They do a Batman movie and then a non-Batman movie, and then a Batman movie and non-Batman. They need to start getting away from Batman.
Well, that's not going to happen because it's WB, and the suits are like, what sells? Batman? Put more of it out there.
But recently, The Killing Joke became very popular based on a couple internet scandals, or quote scandals. Kind of stupid. But now they'd probably said, hey, why not capitalize on that and
do a Killing Joke movie.
Cool thing, though, is it's now got a rated R movie.
Yes, they actually signed off on it.
How many animated movies do you know of that have a rated R rating?
Does it count if they're half animated and half live action?
No, because Roger Rabbit.
No, that's another one. There's another one that is, it's called Cool World is the name of it. It's got Brad Pitt in it. And he's a real life detective that goes into, like, there's a real world and there's a cartoon world. It's not like there's a border between them, but it's like a teleport thing that you have to do to get to the other world. And it's very
No, I wouldn't count that. That's not full animation.
Then
I can't think of any off the top of my head, to be honest.
CG doesn't count, obviously, right?
But even then, what are you thinking about for that?
Final Fantasy, was that R-rated?
No, it's PG-13.
Oh, well then no. This will be a first.
We'll have to look. If you the listeners know of any R-rated animated, we'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely.
And what you think about them, and what you think about The Killing Joke, or anything we've talked about before. And you can go ahead and email us. That's actsofgeekery@gmail.com. You can go to facebook.com/actsofgeekery and leave us a message or post a comment on one of our posts. Go to twitter.com. It's @actsofgeekery, or using the hashtag actsofgeekery, we'll find it. And you can go to youtube.com and post on any of the videos that we post, upload things, and ask us a question. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear, and we're always on those, so we'll get right back to you and answer them really quickly.
Nice, smooth way to put that in there.
Well, I gotta.
And then I just ruined it by pointing it out.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Corey's the ruiner.
Okay, moving on. Let's talk about The Flash.
He moves.
Yes.
Really fast.
And we're not talking about the TV show, which is amazing. And we're so excited for the next episode tomorrow. We're talking about the movie Flash. And the rumor is that the suit for The Flash is going to be a little bit more armored than the current Flash is.
A la Flashpoint.
A la Flashpoint or a la New 52 Flash even.
Yeah.
Or DC Universe Online Flash actually had some good armor with him. How do you feel about that?
I have mixed feelings because I love the Flash. I love speedsters in general. And I love the Flash's current costume. He's kind of sleek. He's he's streamlined and however, he needs protection from friction from the wind, running into things really fast would hurt. And also, if a speedster gets caught off guard and gets punched by someone that's a heavy hitter, they're going to get really hurt. Yeah. Unless they're wearing armor. Kind of like Batman's armor suit that he's going to have in Batman v Superman. I like that. Yes, I know it's only going to be for a while, but I like that. I like the idea that he's going up against someone who can lift buildings or islands.
It's his Clark Buster.
And if you're gonna go up against something like that, you need something to help you out. And so I'm gonna be like, whatever. If they can make it work, it'll be awesome. Yeah, I'm sure it'll look cool. I think I saw they had kind of a glimpse of it, and it looked kind of cool. So I'm okay with that.
Not to be boring, but I agree.
All right, not to be non-controversial.
Yeah. Speaking of good Batman stories, and speaking of Batman v Superman, it's based on The Dark Knight Returns.
Yes,
a great 2-part novel from Frank Miller,
and also 2 animated movies, part 1 and 2, which are fantastic. Frank Miller, creator of The Dark Knight, creator of Sin City. Well, he's announced he's going to do The Dark Knight Returns Part 3,
which we've been getting a lot of covers on, like different cover art and everything.
Yep, and he also announced at New York Comic-Con, I believe, that he's going to also do a new Sin City title. So look out for that. And he's amazing.
Yeah,
read what he's done. He's brilliant. He's great writing.
Good director too.
And he usually picks great artists as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, usually what Frank Miller does gets high praise from everybody.
Yeah, he's a
I am so excited for this next story, Scott. You have no idea.
Well, I have a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, because you've watched the series with me.
Yes.
And lately I've been going through the Justice League series again because it's just fun and everything. And Cartoon Network I cannot speak today. I'm having such a terrible time.
Cartoon
Network has confirmed a new Justice League series coming.
That also makes me excited as well.
And I hope that they don't...
I mean, it makes me so excited.
I hope that they don't Teen Titans Go it.
I don't think they will.
I don't think they will
because I don't think that Teen Titans Go...
I'd be okay with a Young Justice look to it.
Okay, yeah.
But I hope they get the classic voice actors back.
Yeah.
They get Kevin Conroy.
So isn't that the art style of Justice League the George Perez? Or is that something else I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of something. I don't know what you're thinking of.
I have to think about it. I know he's an artist or something.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's the art style of what is his name?
Not Bruce Timm.
It is Bruce Timm.
Is it Bruce Timm?
Yeah, it's his art style. Yeah,
so,
that's what the Justice League cartoon is.
And I don't know, and I forgot about this until just 2 seconds ago. Justice League's awesome. There's also 2 new X-Men series announced.
Oh yeah, do I have that? I might have had that later.
X-Men Legion, which is Xavier's illicit son.
Okay.
From someone you don't know.
Yeah.
And he has multiple personality disorder, and each personality has a different power and controls one of his powers.
That seems familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, and I can't remember what the other one was
called.
That
kind of sounds like Orphan Black with a mutant.
Sort of. Sort of. But they will, and I don't know if I think they were both live action.
Yeah, I think that they are. I think the other one might be X-Force or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, so frickin' great time for TV. We're getting close to the premiere of Supergirl, by the way.
Yes, it's this week. Thursday, I thought.
I thought it came out with. I thought it came out next Monday.
Oh, yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, because I know it comes out with against Gotham.
And our recommendation is watch it.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a little corny at times, but in a fun, campy superhero way.
And
which I really liked.
it felt more like the WB or the CW
than anything else.
than Gotham.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even putting Gotham in. It's almost lost its rank in superhero TV shows for me because it's going so far away from they're just throwing names in. There's like, this is the Joker, and it's literally a guy cracking jokes on stage. You know, like okay.
Anyway,
this one's Ivy, and it's just because her name's Ivy. She has nothing to do with plants.
It's not even Ivy.
Yeah, it's Pamela Isley, or it's
that's who actually.
Ivy Peppers is
Ivy
actually
Peppers.
her name. So,
Which, by the way, I've been reading the Harley Quinn comic lately, and apparently Poison Ivy is the go-to person for Harley Quinn when it comes to computer hacking and stuff.
huh? I would not have
Right?
Yeah,
I've just been like, what? But I love how she's in that like all the time. She just shows up. She's like,
so
I'm here, I'm
yeah.
gone, I'm here, I'm gone. You know?
Speaking of X-Men,
Yes.
Mr. Sinister,
Yes.
an X-Men villain. Bryan Cranston wants to play Mr. Sinister,
He wants to be the one who mutant knocks.
the one who knocks and then just gets shot, and then the hole seals up like with. Because he's made out of goo. I swear he's made out of goo.
Made out of goo.
I swear that he is literally made out of goo.
I don't-
Every time I've watched him in all the the cartoons, he gets shot or he gets cut, and his skin just kind of like.
I think
together.
that's just supposed to be that he heals rapidly. But
they couldn't show blood.
exactly, so they had to show it.
So when he gets a hole blown in him, it kind of just
yeah,
he's basically Clayface.
Yep.
Clayface from the Batman animated series did it better.
yes, exactly.
But it'd be cool because I think Bryan Cranston is great. He's a great actor. I think he can do anything he puts his mind to as far as acting goes.
I don't think he would get a Marvel movie.
You don't think so?
I think he could get a Fox Marvel movie,
Which is Mr. Sinister.
which is Mr. Sinister and the X-Men. But I don't think, because Marvel shies a little bit away of really recognizable actors, for the most part.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
they're
Idris Elba.
actors.
Idris Elba. I mean, I'm just pointing out names.
No, yeah, I mean, we didn't know who Idris Elba was until
Scarlett
he did.
Johansson.
Yeah, that's true. She's probably like the biggest name that they've gotten.
Well, not anymore. RDJ is.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is they get these mid-tier actors, and then they're like, oh, by the way, you love this guy now.
Yeah.
We're Marvel. You love this guy now.
Samuel L. Jackson.
That's true. Samuel L. Jackson. Like, there's a few out there, but I don't know. Like, it just seems like they
I have a
shouldn't-
hard time. I
I
have a
guess
hard
Benedict
time.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah, I have a hard time with actors that play Marvel movies now because when I see them in anything else, I have a really hard time seeing them not as their Marvel character. So if I see Samuel L. Jackson hunting down people as a mercenary in the Hateful Eight, I'm just like, "Where's your eye patch? Dang
There's
it!"
your eye patch.
Yeah,
It is Cowboy times. He could have one.
he could have one definitely.
Cowboy times.
Cowboy times. Wouldn't it be more pirate times?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just laughing at the fact that I called it Cowboy times instead of a Western.
Pirate time, cowboy time.
Cowboy times. Writing that down just in case. Steven Spielberg thinks that he'll do Indiana Jones 5 with Harrison Ford. Like he says he wants to.
Is it going to be Indiana Jones
And the search for incontinence toilet paper.
and the search for Ben Gay?
Ben Gay. Ah, thank you.
Or Indiana Jones versus the retirement home? I mean,
I gotta get out of here.
this isn't real pudding.
As
As he's rolling away with his walker.
Like the automatic
You-
doors
you
are
hear-
slowly
you hear a-
closing on him.
You hear a whip crack,
Yeah.
but it's not a whip; it's his hip.
He still reaches like he's going for his whip though.
Yeah,
but-
it's not a whip; it's my
That's
hip.
not a whip. That's my hip. Good line.
Okay.
I love that part in
you.
Indiana Jones 5.
Yep.
And then they were also talking about.
Do you think he'll
with
make? Do you
Spielberg.
think he'll make a "I'm too old for this" joke? Because he already did it in the fourth one.
That's true. Yeah, I'm still old for this.
I'm definitely too old for this.
Where's Shia?
as much
Shia,
as I-
come back. No,
He's a
Who-
he's a
who would ever
cannibal
say-
now.
Yes,
he's a cannibal out in the woods.
Ooh, I'm so excited for us to play that on the podcast. By the way,
Oh, that's right.
next episode, which will be right after Halloween, actually. So maybe we should play it at the end of this episode.
Okay.
This is our unofficial Halloween episode.
No. We can do it next time.
Well, no, because by the time we do the podcast, it'll be November 1st. It won't be Halloween anymore.
It's close enough. It's one away.
We want it to be like before Halloween so that people can play it on Halloween if they want.
They've already heard it. Shia Lebouf, Actual Cannibal, Shia LaBeouf by Rob Cantor.
Yeah. We're playing it today.
Okay.
At the end of the episode. Stay tuned.
We'll fight about it.
No,
we'll see.
No, everybody's going to be expecting it now, Scott.
Give us our Pixar upcoming movie list.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, Pixar came out with their upcoming movies. Surprise, surprise, a lot of sequels. That's what Pixar has to do to appease their gods, which is Disney.
Yeah, apparently.
So this year, of course, we've still got The Good Dinosaur coming out, which is their second feature that is new this year, which is surprising. And then next year is Finding Dory. And
because Up was this year. That's right.
Inside Out, you mean?
Inside Out, yeah.
So next year's Finding Dory, which is Finding Nemo sequel.
Is it going to be a sequel, or are they going to do a totally different storyline? It's just going to have Dory as the same character.
Well, no, they're going to, it's going to be Dory gets lost at his time, and they have to go find Dory.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's going to be Marlin still, I think.
Oh, okay, well.
I don't know. I haven't seen the trailer yet.
Either way, it makes more sense than the dang Angry Birds trailer that came out last 2 weeks
already
ago.
It does. And then we have Cars 3 coming out in 2017. We have Toy Story 4, which is great. Can't wait for both of those are going to be fine. Cars is kind of Disney's like, hey, you need to do another Cars because everybody loves
a lot of people hated
Cars.
the second one.
Yeah. I didn't mind it.
I like it.
I think it's a great spy movie.
Yeah, I think it was fun.
It could have used a little bit less Mater, in my opinion. But
yeah, I kind of agree with that because yeah, that's right. It was pretty much all him the whole time.
So here's the problem with some franchises. They get the stupid character that everybody's like, oh, that guy's kind of funny. Like, bad example, but like Jar Jar.
Yeah.
But like Mater and all these other characters that everybody's like, oh, the stupid character's the funny one. We like his parts. And then they put him as the main character.
In the sequel.
And everybody goes, oh, this guy's just dumb.
Yeah.
He's dumb lucky.
Yep.
Is what it is.
Yep.
Anyway, so Toy Story 4. Then a movie called Coco that we don't have much info on.
All about hot chocolate.
Yes.
Or just chocolate in general.
It looks like the picture has like a skeleton face on it, which seems interesting. What if skeletons had feelings?
Is it going to be like Day of the Dead style thing?
And that's what my mind is going towards too, just because the Book of Life came out.
I saw the picture, and the picture looks like
it does
the
look
stylized skeleton faces from the Day of the Dead and stuff like that.
What if Hispanics had feelings? Oh, terrible!
That's just kind of an inside joke. There's a meme floating around where here's Pixar's formula. What if toys had feelings? What if cars had feelings? What if old people had feelings?
Yeah.
What if
feelings had feelings?
What if feelings had feelings?
Yeah.
So their next one, or The Good Dinosaur. What if dinosaurs had feelings?
Exactly.
What if,
and it really is pretty much.
What if robots had feelings?
Brave is the only. What if Scottish people had feelings?
Yeah, exactly. what if gingers had feelings?
Gingers, yes. What if this podcast had feelings, Scott?
It does. And they're hurt if you don't listen to us. Or go to iTunes and rate us and subscribe and review.
Very nice.
Stop pointing it out.
I have to every time now. And then finally, Incredibles 2 in 2019.
Yes. Hopefully
stay alive 4 more years. 4 more years.
Brad Bird needs to do it again. I really hope he does.
Yes, he is actually, because he's the one who's writing it and directing it.
Good.
And he was waiting until he had a good story.
Because almost everything he's ever done is just brilliant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't think of a bad one. I'm sure we could look on IMDb. And
there's probably every director has turds, and if you're Michael Bay, there's all turds and one good one.
The Island.
I kind of like Independence Day. Didn't he do that one?
No, he didn't do Independence Day. Did he do Independence? No, that was Spielberg.
Spielberg? All right.
Well, I don't know.
That's fine. We don't need to look it up.
There's somebody being like, you guys are morons. It's actually... I don't know. I got to look it up
Your
now.
typical nerd voice going on.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's actually a new Independence Day. A new nerd
Independence
voice for me.
Day.
Independence Day.
Roland Emmerich did it. Okay. Never mind.
We were so both wrong.
Totally
Yes.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Reports are out suggesting that Netflix is working on another Marvel series.
So I read up a little bit on this, and the report is they're looking at it as an option. As in, we have a giant list of options to do, and it's on there.
we have a bunch of Marvel properties, but the rumors are looking at Moon Knight.
So if you've never heard of Moon Knight, he's a dude that finds some kind of like god and gets,
Khonshu.
yeah, and gets his powers, but it kind of drives him a little crazy. And
He's
he's
like split personality.
yeah, he's like schizophrenic, split personality.
But he's kind of like
So he's schizophrenic
white,
Batman.
the white suited Batman.
Yeah, which may or may not play into Netflix Marvel very well, because we kind of already have a street level Batman. That's Daredevil.
Exactly.
What they'd be better off doing.
I've always told people that Daredevil is the Marvel Batman.
What they'd be better off doing is rolling him into the Defenders. I don't think he's ever been part of it, but they could just make him part of it.
Yeah.
Along with Kung Fury, Iron Fist.
Iron Fist?
I couldn't remember his name for a second there.
Fury.
Along with Iron Fist and Power Man, or even put Iron Fist into Power Man. You know, do the whole Defenders, Heroes for Hire, that kind of thing.
Because him as his own series is kind of
then spin off either Elektra or Punisher as a separate series.
I think Punisher would make a great TV series.
I agree, because I like Punisher way more than
And
Elektra.
I think you might see that as soon as season 2 comes out, and we'll talk more about that later.
Yeah.
Do you like Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter, Scott?
I actually kind of like it a lot.
Yeah, me too. It's a terrible movie, but it's good bad.
It's
bad
fun.
good.
It's very fun to watch.
Yes. Not just because a troll crushes a guy's head by stepping on him.
That is the part. Well, the troll. What's his name in the movie?
Edward.
Edward the troll, or the golem giant.
He's a troll.
He's a troll. Yeah. When he showed up on screen, he made the movie for me.
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
Iffy,
this is kind of
it's
fun,
alright,
you know.
yeah.
And then he shows up, and I'm like, all right, I'm sold.
Yep.
This is good enough. So, but what about it?
Yeah. So there's been a rumor a lot that they're coming out with a sequel for it, which, you know, they're going to have to pay Jeremy Renner a lot to be in the sequel, but
He
that's
won't
fine.
be in it. It'll be
a new Hansel. But actually, no, he wouldn't be in it anymore, because they're moving it to a TV series.
okay.
Is the new rumor.
And we've
So-
seen how well that's worked so far. Limitless. Boring.
Really? You
Minority
watched
Report.
it?
No. Minority Report's the boring one. I've watched the first episode.
Really? I heard it was good. I heard good things about it.
Well, you
heard wrong.
You heard difference. you are entitled to your opinion.
You know what?
Even if they're wrong.
The problem is I heard it from my dad.
Well, different audience, different
Yeah,
type audience.
exactly.
It was very boring.
Okay.
Very slow.
All right.
Very boring. I'll have to watch a couple more episodes, obviously.
Well, yeah, 3.
Yeah. Give it the old three try.
Give it the old college 3. And finally, before we move on to the casting couch, Batman co-creator Bob Kane is getting a
Batman, the
star.
comic book
yes,
creator,
like Batman the
or-
character.
Okay.
He created the character.
Okay.
He's getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame
Good.
this week.
They should put Batman right next to him as well.
They should. All the Batmans.
Or
it should be
It
Adam
should be,
West.
It should be Batman ... I mean Bruce Wayne.
I mean Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. I mean Batman. No, it should be his name in the middle, and then every actor who's played Batman that has a star on the Walk of Fame should be around him.
And
Val Kilmer. I don't know if he's got
very
a walk.
top one has to be
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a star on the Walk of Fame. Let's be honest. He needs one.
Needs one.
Yes, he does.
He's the best Batman ever, and we will argue that up and down, day and night, through thick and thin. I can't think of any more. So let's move on to the casting couch.
Rain, sleet, or snow. All right, casting couch time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I was just thinking of a theme song for it. Like, do you think we need to have
It needs to be, if it's going to be anything, it's got to be porno music.
Wah, 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 wah.
What kind of porno do you watch?
That was that was actually the song that comes on for every comedy, like, sex scene. I've been really trying, baby.
Anywho.
We really like if we ever get a soundboard, we have to get some sort of porno
we will.
music clip for the casting couch. We got a lot of casting news that happened this week, starting with Pee Wee Herman. Sorry,
I heard about this.
What is his real name? Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens.
He is going to be Penguin's father
Isn't
on
he
Gotham.
like a child molester or something? Didn't he go to jail for that or something?
I don't think it was ever proven. It obviously didn't hurt him enough that people don't. I always get Pee Wee Herman and Richard Simmons confused. For some reason, they're just very similar in my mind.
Right.
Yeah. But he's going to be on Gotham as Penguin's father.
They have the same look, really.
It's really not enough to make me want to watch Gotham.
I'm struggling so much with
and
that.
I read an article today.
I want to watch it so we can review it or talk to people about it, and I just don't care.
Mm-hmm. And I read an article today from that Ben McKenzie was talking about Commissioner Gordon's fall, or Lieutenant Gordon's fall.
Mm-hmm.
And he says that he falls pretty hard. He goes pretty far into the deep end to get what he wants.
Which is not...
It's not who Gordon is.
It's not Gordon's character.
So I'm not sure.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But a show we do like is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We do.
And Powers Booth is going to join Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Gideon Malik, who is a new character, just as an extra...
Is it an Inhuman character?
No.
Oh, darn.
Not as far as we're aware.
I have a feeling they do this whole Inhumans thing.
Mm-hmm.
The very first episode, they had the dude that could melt metal.
Yep.
They've got Daisy, or Daisy Sky.
Daisy Sky Quake.
And they've got the lightning dude. What's his name? That was just Daisy kissed in this last one.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He can shoot lightning.
Zach? Is that his name?
No, I don't know. But
Anyway.
I have a feeling that they're not going to introduce any more.
You don't think any more Inhumans?
They will, but I think it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. I think...
Again, this is what's driven me crazy about Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the fact that they introduce a concept like the Inhumans or people with superpowers.
Yeah.
They show 1, maybe 2 episodes of it, and then they never do it again.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to see people with powers. I don't want to see gadgets. I'm tired. Sometimes the spy show... The other thing about S.H.I.E.L.D. is S.H.I.E.L.D. needs to try to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
What they need to... if I turn on Agent Carter, I know I'm going to watch a spy.
Exactly.
1950s
Agents
noir.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. feels like it's way too much of everything.
They're kind of all over the place, and they need to figure out what they're going to do and get set on that.
We're not saying it's a bad show.
No, we're not saying it's bad. It's still a lot of fun and some pretty cool storylines that happen.
So do you know who Powers Booth is, going back to this?
Yeah, he's the
He's Senator Rourke.
Yes.
In Sin City 1 and 2. So, but yeah, so he's going to be a mysterious character whose loyalties are a mystery, apparently.
So he's not going to be Hydra.
No,
he's going to be another department of something.
Yeah. AIM. No.
Someone brought up a cool point about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, because a friend was talking about why are they so scared about aliens? And if it's like, well, if you think about it, every major world-ending threat besides Ultron was aliens.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Thor. Thor 2 had their alien invasion. You've got aliens over Avengers. Yeah, I know all the other movies haven't really dealt with aliens, but those are the big bad guys. Hydra was kind of localized. They were going to shoot things, but the whole world didn't know they were going to do that.
That's true. They really didn't know until...
You know?
I mean, it was a world-ending threat, but it wasn't
So you have to look
noticeable.
at, in the MCU, what has been the thing that scares people the most? Aliens. So when they find out that Inhumans are half alien... You know, they freak out, and that's why they're doing the whole mutant thing where they hate them. They're okay with the Avengers and their powers,
but
you know,
because
aliens,
that's explainable.
Their powers. Yeah, how is it not explainable? You're half alien. Well, I'd be like, oh, okay, powers, cool.
Speaking of aliens and Thor, Thor is going to have some help in the next Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, that's coming.
Yep.
Because Mark Ruffalo is in like final talks to play the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok.
Now, this is really awesome.
Yes.
Because when you're Thor and you're a god and you can call down the lightning, and you're super strong, and whatever, and you're fighting,
Kachuga.
and you're fighting all other creatures, manner of creatures that
Yep.
can do the same kind of things as you.
Yes.
You don't call in a guy in a suit of armor. You don't call in a super soldier that's still a human. You don't call in a spy. You don't call in an archer.
You call in a
You
force
call
of
in the Hulk.
nature.
You
Yep.
call in something that's not going to get killed.
Exactly.
You're going to call in the Hulk that's going to go up against ice giants like they're nothing. Can you imagine seeing the Hulk throw ice giants around?
Yeah.
Because isn't that Ragnarok? Or is Ragnarok everyone fights everything?
Ragnarok is like the end of the of all the 9 realms, basically.
Okay.
And it's the fire demons and everything, Surtur and
That's
all
right.
that. So
I wanna
giant
see- I wanna-
fighting.
I want to
fire
see the
demons.
Hulk punch a giant fire demon in the face
Mhm.
and knock it, off the planet.
Punch a demon in the face.
Yep.
Nothing better.
Nope, nothing better than
There's nothing sweeter in life.
1, 2, 3 demon punch.
1, 2, 3. Okay. You're just coming up with titles today.
Rosario Dawson, which you might recognize her from Daredevil season 1. She's only in it for a few episodes.
She's Gale in Sin City.
Uh-huh. She is cast as the voice of Batgirl in the Lego Batman movie.
And I am not disappointed.
I'm okay with that.
Will
She's
Arnett's going to be
fine.
Batman again.
Oh,
so,
Great.
of course.
He is Lego
He's
Batman.
the Lego Batman,
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
And then we have Naomi Scott is actually the first Power Ranger cast for the new Power Ranger movie. She's the Pink Power Ranger.
The name sounds familiar, and I think I'll know who she is when I see her face. Yes, I know who she is.
Who is she?
I know who she is. She's Naomi Scott.
You don't have any
She was in
idea.
Terra Nova.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was in The Martian, too, a little bit, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't she the girl that tracks the satellites?
That didn't look anything like her.
Oh, well, it was on that page.
Yeah.
It said it on the page.
Yeah, whatever. Naomi
Okay.
Scott's going to be the new Pink Power Ranger.
Alrighty.
We have 2 new casting news for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Which is the continuation of the Harry Potter world.
Yeah, it's basically J.K. Rowling's book about a bunch of different short stories or something like that. And I hope they do an anthology like that. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
The first one is John Voight is actually in Fantastic Beasts now, which is Angelina Jolie's dad. He's the dad on National Treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the old man, crazy old
Yep,
man.
yep.
Mhm. And the other one, the one that's fantastic.
Yes.
And he's not really, well, he was Beast. Oh my gosh. He did play Beast in like the 1990 CW or WB back then TV show. Ron Perlman.
Yeah. He needs to play the same character that he played
Hannibal
in
Chow.
Pacific Rim.
Yep.
Where he is going after the beast to capture them and get their body
He's a
parts.
poacher.
Yep, exactly.
A fantastic Beast poacher.
Yes. And I hope that J.K. Rowling and whoever is over this watched that role and said, we want that guy.
Yes.
We want that same character. We want you to play the same kind of thing because that's amazing.
It is amazing. And that's all we have for news, so let's go ahead and get into trailers and videos.
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this: never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
Sicilians.
Yes. I knew that. Never get it
No.
to a land war.
No.
Shit. Yeah, never when death's on the line.
No.
Trailers and videos.
Yes, what we've been watching this week or the past couple weeks.
in the past few minutes.
Yep, the past few minutes, because we were right.
And
Thankfully.
and through the magic of podcasting,
We have seen.
you will have no interruption in podcastness. The first one on our list is actually verse 2, kind of out of nowhere, but
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
At least we think so. The first one is called Freaks of Nature. This is, by the way, the one we're going to post is not safe for work.
Yeah, watch out for that. It's a Red Band trailer.
Same with the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
That we'll
which is
talk
coming
about.
up next. Both movies.
Spoilers, Scott.
I'm
Podcast spoilers.
okay. So Freaks of Nature
Yes.
is a zombies, vampires, humans all live together
Uh-huh.
in a town, and they're all fighting each other.
Yep.
And it's a comedy horror movie.
And there's aliens involved.
Oh, and there's aliens involved. That's what started the whole thing.
Yep.
No, that's funny because that's how they do it. Oh, and by the way, aliens started it all.
It looks funny.
It looks great. Coming out October 30th. So
select theaters.
I'm really hoping that there's one nearby that we can go watch it at
because it looks hilarious.
Yeah.
Also coming out October 30th is the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah, which is also not safe for work for the trailer.
Yep.
Just so you know.
And it looks super hilarious. Yeah. There's zombies that die in hilarious ways. There's plenty of funny moments in it.
There's scouts attacking their own scoutmaster. I mean,
yeah.
There's zombie cats. Zombie cats. The internet loves cats and they love zombies. So when they added them together, you know,
it's a gold mine.
Yeah. And last but not least,
potato guns too.
Last but not least, as far as zombies, clips coming out, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is so you've got the book Pride and Prejudice. Someone took the book and added zombies to it.
Just throughout it.
They didn't actually change any of the original book. They just added chapters and added paragraphs and sentences and lines and stuff in between what was currently there. And it became very popular, and a lot of people have read it. Well, they made a movie about it. And it's the girl from the book, and she has to fight zombies, and it looks hilarious.
It looks pretty funny.
So not as funny as Freaks of Nature or Scout's Guide, but still good
funny.
nonetheless.
So a lot of good horror stuff coming out, and just in time for Halloween too.
So next we've got the Daredevil Season 2 teaser and kind of a recap of what happened in the previous one. I didn't actually sit down and watch this, and you did though, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about it.
So the recap part is just shows you what happened in Season 1. It really kind of makes you want to watch it again. Kind of just tells you, reminds you all the great things about Daredevil, and then there's like 20 seconds of the teaser for Season 2, which includes a shot of Elektra putting on a red bandana mask, and it kind of showcases the Punisher a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit. Oh, I did watch this.
Yes, you did.
Yes,
watch
I
that
did.
part.
There's a little bit of the Punisher. There's, they look at an X-ray of a skull, which is the Punisher
looks
skull.
like a Punisher skull.
You see him walking down the hallway
in a hospital, and he pulls out a gun in the middle of the hospital, and then it cuts and he goes bang, and it's Shane from The Walking Dead,
which
John Barenthal.
I was a little worried about it first because I did not like Shane's character in The Walking Dead, and not because he didn't play a good job. It's because he was a bad person. He was just a terrible person.
So you just disliked Shane.
And so I just disliked Shane
because of the character,
as a character.
not the actor.
Yeah, but the actor, he seems to be a good fit for Punisher. So hopefully that's good. But it's a cool little teaser, nice recap if you forgot. But I mean, they're all on Netflix, so you can watch them whenever if you've got Netflix. The next one on our list is the Batman Bad Blood trailer. It's the next animated.
Maybe we got. Oh, I can't do that, or else I'll get sued.
Maybe we got Bad Blood. It's the next DC animated movie, or the Warner Brothers animated movie for DC Comics, and it is Batman is gone, and the Bat family, basically Nightwing, Robin, Batwoman, and Batwing, which I've never seen Batwing in anything but comics. So that's kind of cool that they're actually putting him in an animated movie. Yeah. They kind of have to step up and take his place and find out what the heck happened to him.
What happened to him?
Where did he go?
It's got good cast as always.
Jason O'Mara plays Batman. You got same voice for Damian or Robin.
Nightwing is played by Sean Mayer, which, if you remember, if you know your Firefly, he's the Doctor.
Simon Tam.
Yep, Simon Tam on it. Just really good stuff. It's got Danny Glover in it too, by the way. He's Lucius Fox.
Yep. So check that out. The next trailer we were looking at is actually one that I totally forgot about, and I don't know why, because it looks really fun and interesting. It's the next trailer for the Shannara Chronicles, based off a very popular book series. If you're familiar, a fantasy book series. It's got elves and magic and demons and things like that, and it's got a couple different characters. You got John Rhys Davies. He plays like the Elf King.
Yes, which it's really hard to see him as an elf.
It is.
Oh, you know what I forgot to mention about Bad Blood really quick?
Oh, that's
nunjas.
Yeah, they do have nunjas. So if you've ever wanted to see what a nun would look like wielding a sword,
They
have them. They've got ninjas.
Sorry, I just totally remembered that, and I'd written that down as a point to talk about. So we have to talk about ninjas.
But the Shannara Chronicles, you've got John Rhys Davies. He plays like the Elf King. The two main leads, the guy and the girl. I've seen them before, but I don't know their names, and I couldn't tell you.
But it's got birthday boy Manu Bennett in it.
Yes, it does have Manu Bennett. He plays kind of a roguish human.
Is he a human? I thought he was an elf.
Nope, he had normal ears.
Oh, he had normal ears.
Yeah, we didn't have elf ears. And they're not like super long elf ears. They're like Vulcan ears, basically. Yeah. So they're Spock ears.
But it looks pretty good.
It's coming out MTV January 5th. So that should be pretty cool. We'll probably be watching that as well. The Back to the Future
coming up Wednesday is the day. The October 21st, 2015. That's where they go to the future in the second one. Yep.
That's the date. So they've been doing a lot of like teaser stuff and then fun getting the cast back together and doing things like that. And it's Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
And just
Christopher
Lloyd sitting in a diner talking about what actually has come true. And it's a Toyota commercial, but it's just kind of fun. They're talking about, he's like self-lacing sneakers, and Michael J. Fox is like, still waiting for those.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And like fax machines, who still uses those? I can't believe we thought they were still be popular.
I've got one.
Yeah.
So kind of just fun 40-second clip. Nothing really more to that other than that. If you're a fan of the Fallout games,
which, judging by what this trailer is, I need to be a fan of the Fallout games.
Apparently they look really cool. I like the concept. Fallout 4 just released I don't know why they call it a live action trailer, because
it is. That's all.
The guy looked really CG to me.
It's not, though. That's live action.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was really well done.
Everybody has to do live action trailers for their games. Now, for some reason.
It's just kind of showcasing a few things. Fallout 4, you get a cool robot like mech radiation suit, which is kind of sweet.
It's just like all those 1950s.
It's because it's retro. That's what gets you.
Anything retro and anything noir.
Yep. Yep. Corey loves that kind of stuff. If you ever wanted to buy him something like retro or noir. He would just.
I'm getting the vapors. More Back to the Future stuff.
Yeah.
This is a funny college humor video. They're a popular YouTube channel. If you haven't seen them, we talked about Batman at one point.
A little animated skit
of what Back to the Future would be like with actual 2015 imposed.
Yeah,
and it's pretty funny. It shows you kind of just like, here's what we thought the world would be like, and
here's what it really is like. And it's a lot more depressing.
It's very depressing.
But we live in it, and it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Yeah.
Is it, Scott?
It's fine.
Is our planet fine?
Well, slowly dying. But that's another podcast. That's another type of podcast.
We are a cancer, Scott.
Yeah, well,
it's like rhythm is a dance.
Sorry, Earth. I hate to inform you. You have humans.
You have humans. Is there any cure? I'm afraid it's fatal.
I'm afraid it's fatal. Yeah, exactly.
Unless you want to meteor yourself.
Yeah,
which is tantamount to chemo.
We can give you a shot.
Yeah, chemo radiation, basically.
Exactly. Ratchet and Clank came out with a new trailer.
Yeah, their first trailer for the movie coming out in April.
They had a quick like 16-second one a few
they had a quick teaser about like them filming it and everything like that.
And this one is all a lot of the new character where Ratchet meets Clank and about the little film they're making.
It looks really good.
It looks really good, and the animation looks really good as well. Even more Back to the
Future stuff. We kind of interspersed that out there.
That's okay.
Jaws 19 trailer.
If you remember, in the second movie,
yes,
he shows up, and the movie theater has Jaws 19 now playing, and he turns around, and the giant
shark comes out,
3D shark, holographic shark eats him, and he kind of disappears. But
they looks fake.
They actually made a
trailer,
Jaws 19 trailer,
showcasing all the other movies that came along, like Jaws in Space, Mecha Jaws,
Zombie Jaws, or something like that.
Yes. So good.
Jaws versus the old folks home. There is if you like Star Wars, we got Star Wars Rebels.
It's time for
season 2.
Rebels season 2. Here season 1's pretty good, and this one looks pretty good too. They've really, so because this is taking place between episodes 3 and 4. They've really changed the style from the Clone Wars cartoon. Like, the Clone Wars cartoon had a very prequel feel to it.
Yeah.
The lightsabers were thicker, and they did more, kind of flippy-dippy moves. I always call it flippy-dippy with their lightsabers. But the lightsabers in this one are a lot thinner, and they look a lot more classic Star Wars to them.
Yeah, well, I noticed the animation's less bubbly. So think of like bubble letters. How they're rounded, they're fat, they're like the animation in the Clone Wars had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
A lot of the characters, the Twi'leks, their tendrils were a lot thicker, and they just were more childish, I guess is the best way to explain it.
And now they've
they've kind of pulled it back, and I think it's because they realize our biggest audience is the adult crowd.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if that's not unfortunate. It looks really good. It makes me want to watch all the Clone Wars and Rebels.
I'm currently going through Clone Wars so I can watch Rebels.
It's a new trailer, and of course, all of these are going to be up on our podcast page this week. Check it out. And we'll
Facebook.com
/Acts of Geekery. We'll give you all the links.
Why have you not gone there and liked it already?
Yeah, no kidding. Come on, you guys. We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
And finally, last but not least,
we mentioned it earlier in the podcast.
The new Force Awakens.
The brand new Force Awakens trailer came out. No, you didn't have to watch football to see it because it came out on YouTube.
Literally like 18 minutes after it's released.
Probably 10 minutes after, 10 seconds after. It was probably ready to be published, and as soon as the commercial ended, they clicked go ahead and publish.
Yep.
Because when we looked it up 10 minutes ago, it only said it was up 18 minutes. And I don't know what to say other than yes.
So,
and as that's coming from me, a non-huge Star Wars fan.
I have notes.
It looks awesome. You actually wrote notes down on this.
Well, in my head. Note number 1: BB-8 is a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's about half as tall as the
which
female.
It makes
lead.
sense. He's an R2 unit, quote unquote. He's an astromech type.
He's a BB unit.
Yeah, BB, whatever that means. Note number 2: the music started up, and I was sitting there going, this isn't the usual music for Star Wars. And I understand the need to have new music and everything,
right?
Because they want to show that they're a different movie than the first 3 or the original trilogy. But then it kicks in, and it is subtly the music, like subtly the kind of soft dun, 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 and it's overlaid with this new kind of score, and it feels fantastic.
The music you're talking about is the part where Luke is standing in A New Hope, looking out across the desert at the two moons. It's that music in the background, they're the two suns. You're right. And they kind of like remixed it just a little bit for the new movie,
and it gives really it a new feel, and it makes it.
But it's almost creepy.
Yes,
it's almost got a creepy vibe to it.
Yeah, a lot of cool effects going on here.
We get to see characters talk.
Yes,
it's not just a voiceover. It's the voice of Kylo Ren.
Are you sure? We get to see them talk.
Yeah, the girl. Well, you get to hear their different voices.
Yeah, you get to hear more than just like one voice.
She talks to Han.
That's true.
And she says, all those stories that we hear, and he says, they're all true.
They're all true.
All of them. And by the way, for being like 70-something years old, he still looks awesome. He's still Han Solo.
Yes.
He's still got it.
And the last note that I have is we haven't seen too much lightsaber fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, it brings up an interesting point if J.J. Abrams is going to go prequel lightsaber fighting, or if he's going to go classic original trilogy lightsaber fighting.
So the big bad guy is not a Sith.
True.
So he might be going classic. And
John Boyega's character,
Finn, he might not be a Jedi. He might just have a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And they have to there might be some clumsy fighting, which I would be okay with.
Yep.
Because guaranteed there's going to be people out there with lightsabers that aren't actually Jedis or Sith.
Exactly.
The other thing that I really liked, there are a lot of spaceship battles.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of them. And
oh my gosh.
Yay.
It looks so interesting, and it looks so
there's a lot of practical effects too. All the droids are practical effects. Even though they're walking through this corridor, and there's this big tall lanky one that's it looks like an egg shape with big long legs.
Yeah, and it's like trundling behind or along the side of him.
So cool. We're going to have to watch it again. But you guys should watch it as well. We'll post all these up on our Facebook page.
But, I mean, you don't have to wait for that. You can go look for any of these on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, I mean, go look at them when we post them on the Facebook page, too.
And we'll get you all the links to, of course, the other ones we talked about as well. So we're going to go watch the trailer again.
Yep.
And while we're doing that, we're going to get you into Picks of the Week.
Will you be Scary Terry?
Oh, I love being Scary Terry. He says what regular Terry's thinking.
This is taking too long. I'm going to miss the farmer's market.
You love Scary Terry?
I do love Scary Terry.
I mean, he's yelling about the farmer's market, but I'm pretty sure it's
probably close. Yeah, it's pretty late. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
And it's getting late in the year. Do they even do farmers markets in October? I don't know.
Well, they do like spooky farmers markets. Ooh, ghost corn.
It's not actually there. They're really not selling it. It's
exactly.
It's invisible corn.
Yep.
All right. So now
mummy cabbage.
It's old cabbage wrapped up, rotten cabbage wrapped up.
Yep. It's really not good.
But you know what is good? Our
Zombies.
Our picks of the week.
I was just thinking of more fun food that we could give a spooky spin
Put that on the back burner.
Yes, right. Because it's time for the picks of the week.
It is.
The stuff that we've been geeking out about this week.
Why don't you go ahead, Corey?
Yeah, I'll start off because mine is kind of something that I should have been geeking out about a little while ago, and I'm just barely getting to.
You're behind.
I'm behind. I'm just barely starting to watch the Clone Wars. I'm about halfway into season 2, and it's really good.
I'm like 6 episodes into season 1.
So here's what I'll say. For people who want to get into the Clone Wars because they want to know more about the Star Wars universe, season 1 is kind of a drag.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate because they were just getting their footing.
There's
all
4
the episodes
total, right?
are pretty
4 seasons total?
6
seasons. Okay.
6 seasons and a movie.
And it takes place between episode 2 and 3.
Yes. And it just feels very slow.
Okay.
And the season 1 is kind of falls into these kiddish tropes. There's a lot of Jar Jar episodes, which they, was because they thought kids liked Jar Jar. Turns out nobody likes Jar Jar.
Nobody likes Jar Jar.
Not even kids. So.
Not even Jar Jar doesn't like himself.
No,
he's just compensating for being a terrible Gungan being.
Gungan.
Because he's not a human being.
Gungan being. Yeah, but as soon as it hits probably about the end of season 1, start of season 2, it really takes off, and you really get a lot more story out of it. And it's
doesn't it get a little darker too? That's what I hear. First season, it's really like lighthearted, a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then in season 2, it gets a little bit more darker, a little bit more serious.
Yeah, and that's where it's kind of going, is this little bit more Star Wars-y tone to it, where yes, there's comedy, but it's kind of got that epic feel to it now. So I'm going to recommend Clone Wars. Everybody go watch it, mostly because it's a good way to get your Star Wars fix without watching the same 6 episodes, 3 episodes, because you don't watch the prequels over and over again. But yeah, Clone Wars. Go check it out.
All right, awesome. I need to catch up on that.
Yeah.
I really do. I'm so far behind.
And I would have waited for you, but I was sick, and I was like, time to watch Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm sick for 2 days, so I'm going to watch nothing but Clone Wars.
Yep.
I got you.
It really was exactly like that.
Yeah. My pick of the week this week is something that, when I saw this, I was blown away by it. It is a website called HeroForge.com, and that's FORGE, like a blacksmith's forge.
Yep.
So HeroForge.com. This is a place.
I really wanted this as
where you can tag team on this.
Okay.
It's like writing your name on the birthday card. I'll let you do that. That's cool. On the pick of the week card. This one is where you can go and you can create your own miniature.
Yes.
And if you are familiar with tabletop games that you like, Pathfinder, D&D, Star Wars RPG.
Wait, did you just say Jesus Star Wars?
No.
I thought you just said Jesus in there.
I couldn't figure. I couldn't remember something.
It really sounded like you made a new genre.
Star Wars RPG,
Yes.
Mutants and Masterminds for hero stuff.
Mhm.
I mean,
anything.
There's dozens of them out there. Dozens of different. There's GURPS, which is just a design your own game, basically.
Yeah, pretty
It's just
much.
a set of rules. A lot of it's played on a map that's got inch squares or hexes, and you move your character around.
Yeah.
Just like you would in a fight.
But the problem is you can never find a miniature that really captures your character completely.
Because you want a dwarf, and there's hundreds of different dwarves, but there's never the one you want. There's never the dwarf with dual hammers or something, or
Yeah.
that has the right beard or whatever. Well, Hero Forge lets you design all that. They let you pick your race. They let you pick your gender. They let you pick your expression on your face.
They completely let you customize the height, width, hair length,
the width of your shoulders, your bust, your how much booty you have, how
can
long
have
your
booty
legs
for
are,
days.
how big your feet are. I mean, you can design a character from the ground up.
Yep.
You can give them items. You can give them weapons. You can give them
clothing.
You can give a mage a machine gun.
Yep.
I mean, and with a pirate hat. I mean,
Yeah.
it can all mix and match. And then at the very end, you pick what size. Standard 30mm, which is just standard size
miniature
for your
size.
miniatures. You can do 2 times that, 60mm, or 4 times for 120mm in case you want to have like a full size character to immortalize one of your your favorite characters.
And you can get that in,
and you can get them in
rough plastic, detailed plastic.
Yep. Rough plastic, very detailed plastic. You can get it cast in metal, or you can get it cast in bronze,
which is expensive.
And they go up in price, but they start at $15.
Yep.
The cool thing is when you make a $15 character, no matter how you change the character, height, width, how much gut they have, how much beard,
accessories you put
they
on
have a
them.
cape, it doesn't matter. That doesn't change the price.
Exactly.
It only changes the price based on how big it is.
I thought it would change the price based on the base, because you can do like a stone base, a basic base,
and
metal grate
so
base.
you can go on there, you create an account. You can make a bunch of characters. You can save them for later.
Yep.
So you can make 15 different characters, and then choose the one you do want to print out. You submit your order.
Imagine making a character that you can have your battle gear for, and then you can have a miniature where he's just relaxing in his normal gear, or like some fancy gear for when you go to parties.
Yep.
Because let's admit it, if you're in a miniature situation at a party and your character's wearing plate mail, it looks out of place and
or
weird.
wielding a battle axe.
Yeah.
Come on. But you can do all this and
order them right there.
You submit your order, and they 3D print them and send them out to you. And then obviously you got to paint them yourself, but they have all kinds of poses. Everything from the 3-point Iron Man landing to
taking off in flight.
Yeah, ascending up into the air as an angel type look. There's all kinds of cool stuff like that.
There's one called Come At Me, Bro, which I really like.
Yeah. So check them out, heroforge.com.
Amazing.
I will probably spend gobs of money there, I imagine, over the next few years. So.
Yep.
The other thing, too, is this was a Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah.
And everything but the steampunk items were funded, which is unfortunate because we love steampunk. But they keep adding many, many things.
Yep.
As
they develop new
every
3D
couple
models.
days or every couple weeks, they add new items, they add new poses, they add new characters, etc. Because they have a team that creates them, and then they just got calculated.
Throw them up
there. So just to recap, picks of the week. Cory's got Clone Wars. He says, watch it. They're awesome. Go to heroforge.com
Make your own
for me
clones.
and make your own clones. Exactly.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the Acts of Geekery podcast. If you have a comment, question, concern, anything that you want to tell us, did you think that we were being too harsh on Star Wars at the beginning or about The Dark Knight, you can send us an email, actsofgeekery@gmail.com.
You can go to facebook.com/actsofgeekery. You can send us a private message there or leave a comment on one of our posts.
Twitter.com/ we are at Acts of Geekery, or use the hashtag Acts of Geekery. We'll find you there.
Yep. You can go to youtube.com and you can search for Acts of Geekery. If you subscribe, the more subscribers we get, we can just make it /Acts of Geekery.
Yep.
But we post all of our podcasts up there in video format. Leave a comment. We'll reply to them. And last, but definitely not least, go to itunes.com, rate and review the podcast. Subscribe to it. You'll get it in whatever... If you use iTunes on your phone or on your computer, it'll automatically download.
It'll be right there
and
for
it's
you.
really easy to get. Really easy to get. Every time one posts up, it's right there, ready to download. And those are all ACTS, not AXE.
Wonderful. Well, Scott, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. No, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you for
no,
joining
thank you
me.
for joining me. And everybody, stay tuned for a wonderful performance. But until next time, I'm Cory.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
I'm the best at what I do. And what I do is podcasting. And now, for your listening pleasure, Rob Cantor with Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
You're walking in the woods. There's no one around and your phone is dead. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot him. Shia LaBeouf. He's following you, about 30 feet back. He gets down on all fours and breaks into a sprint. He's gaining on you.
Shia LaBeouf.
You're looking for your car, but you're all turned around. He's almost upon you now, and you can see there's blood on his face. My God, there's blood everywhere!
Running for your life from Shia LaBeouf. He's brandishing a knife. It's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows. Hollywood superstar Shia LaBeouf. Living in the woods. Shia LaBeouf. Killing for sport. Shia LaBeouf. Eating all the bodies. Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
Now it's dark, and you seem to have lost him. But you're hopelessly lost yourself, stranded with a murderer. You creep silently through the underbrush. Aha! In the distance, a small cottage with a light on. Hope. You move stealthily toward it, but your leg! Ah! It's caught in a bear trap!
Gnawing off your leg.
Quiet, quiet.
Living to the cottage.
Quiet, quiet.
Now you're on the doorstep. Sitting inside. Shia LaBeouf. Sharpening an axe. Shia LaBeouf. But he doesn't hear you enter. Shia LaBeouf. You're sneaking up behind him. Strangling superstar Shia LaBeouf. Fighting for your life with Shia LaBeouf. Wrestling a knife with Shia LaBeouf. Stab it in his kidney. Safe at last from Shia LaBeouf.
You limp into the dark woods, blood oozing from your stump leg. You've beaten Shia LaBeouf.
Wait, he isn't dead. Shia, surprise, there's a gun to your head and death in his eyes, but you can do jujitsu and do it. Body slam superstar Shia LaBeouf. Legendary fight with Shia LaBeouf. Normal Tuesday night for Shia LaBeouf. You try to swing an axe at Shia LaBeouf, but blood is draining fast from your stump leg. He's dodging every swipe. He parries to the left. You counter to the right. You catch him in the neck. You're chopping off his head now. You have just decapitated Shia LaBeouf.
His head topples to the floor, expressionless. You fall to your knees and catch your breath. You're finally safe from Shia LaBeouf.